Welcome back to Kazi's World, and today I'm back with another video, and today I am here with...
Lil Drewy.
And today I am doing an interview to introduce y'all to one of the best music coming up and the best upcoming rappers in the city. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it.
What's going on? Oh my God, y'all, what the fuck?
I got an album dropping February 1st. Y'all tap the fuck in. Lil Drewy, all platforms, you
Welcome back to my video, and today I am going to be starting off with a little question, and the first question is, what is your name?
My name is Andrew.
Second question is, where are you from?
I was born in Augusta, Georgia, but I grew up in what we call the Valley. But that's basically, I grew up in Warrenville, South Carolina. It's a small town right outside of Aiken.
When did music stop being a hobby and start being a survival for you? Not necessarily it has to be survival for you, but when did it necessarily start feeling like something that you actually want to passionately do and it doesn't come from money? When did music start feeling like that?
I think I've been making, a lot of people don't realize how long I've been making music for. You know, I mean, I started making my own beats. I started writing raps, things like that. And I started actually recording and putting product out. I was probably 13, 14 years old.
What y'all bitches doing that?
You know, just kind of goofing off, you know, just kind of having fun. But then I got really invested in the underground hip-hop scene and everything. And I think I kind of saw it in a different way when I saw how a lot of other people were doing it, because, you know, to me it's very therapeutic. You know, a lot of times, like, if I go and I sit down with an instrumental, like, and I'm speaking, like, I'm out here making music and the shit I talk about is real.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, a lot of time it's just like something I have to get off of my chest. But I think when I really started kind of look at it that way was honestly around the time where I dropped my first project, which was R.I.P. Lil Drewy Part 1. But I think because with that project, I wanted to tell a story, you know? And I look at a lot of mainstream hip-hop now, and I'm not necessarily calling anyone out, but it's like, you know,
if you got to, you call them bitches out. This is the place where we call them motherfuckers out. Ooh.
Well, I mean,
Go
like,
ahead, my bad.
I think when you sit down and you make a project like that, like, it seems like a lot of time nowadays, like, a lot of, especially in the mainstream, people kind of just tend to take tracks they like and they think sound good and kind of put them together, you know? But, like, for me, I sit down and I really think about, okay, what am I trying to say here? Like, what is my story? You know, what is the point I'm trying to get across? And so that's, for me, that's why I sit down and I, like, seriously, I kind of stress myself out about it a little bit, but, like, I'm like, you know, I want my projects to truly feel like there's a lot of subject matter there, you know, and I just want people to hear the message.
What emotion do you think drives most of your music? Anger, sadness, fear, or hunger?
I do kind of feel like it's a little of everything, almost, you know, like, I do feel like there is, like, some hunger in my music almost, because I feel like I'm very ambitious, and so, like, when I set my mind to something, I'm like, I'm gonna achieve this regardless.
Would you say it's not more hunger and it's more of like a vision?
Yeah.
More
almost.
of like you see a vision for yourself?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think anything's possible, you know? So, like, I think if you see yourself in a certain position, like, I think it's good to dream big, but you also got to dream realistically. You know, it's like, okay, this is where I want to be at in 5 years. Like, what are the steps I have to take to get there? You know, I need to do this, I need to do that, this and a third, before I even do this. You know what I mean? Like,
So you more of plan out. So in my understanding, you more of like plan things out before you do it, and you see more of yourself. Because not too many people have like the vision of, they don't see themselves as something bigger than whatever the system has created. Most people just think of, just being in the system. You think of yourself as more than that, and you see yourself as more, and you have a bigger vision.
yes.
Do you feel like you make music to heal yourself or to be understood by others?
Both, to an extent. Because, I mean, like I said, like with subject matter, like my album that's dropping this coming Sunday on February 1st.
This coming Sunday.
That project for me was sort of like me kind of trying to walk people through what's going on here and what's going on here, and it's not just for other people, it's for myself too.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I think everybody kind of does that in their own kind of way. Some people journal and they write down what they're thinking about, or some people talk to other people, For me, music was always just something I can go and like kind of push into, and it's like I said previously, like it's very therapeutic for me. So I do feel like I kind of do it to heal myself to an extent, but we all just naturally want to be understood. I think, we just want other people to understand us, and so that's what I think makes music so cool. Is like you can tell a lot about somebody from the kind of music they listen to, And so, like, I just make the music I want to make and stuff that I like to listen to. And I think that'll kind of gravitate people who are similar to me, to my music. And I think a lot of it's about community.
What do you love about music, and what made you start music?
I mean, growing up, I listened to a lot of different kinds of music, but really my love for music kind of just around 2015, 2016, I got on SoundCloud and I was listening to all these artists who were small,
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally was just guys like me making music in their bedroom. They, a lot of them had a busted ass laptop or whatever, and I'm seeing these guys and they're creating movements and they're really doing something different with music, and that was a really big time for music. And I mean, it was a big time for me too, because I was young and impressionable and growing up, and I kind of saw it as these guys are doing it, maybe I can, and I kind of fell in love with the process from there.
And with music, what do you see? What is the other side? What do you see yourself ending up as? What do you envision yourself as?
I think for me, at this point where I am now, especially, I just want to be respected as an artist, And I mean, not to say I'm not already, but it would. I think I would just like to move forward and just be my best self and make the best music I can, and just kind of just let myself be creative, and kind of not necessarily. I don't want to put myself in a box, because I like to switch it up. I like to do different stuff sometimes, and so. I think creative freedom is really important to me. But yeah, I think in the next 5 years or however long, I definitely see myself blossoming and really growing a lot, just with my outreach and my artistry and the quality of the product that I put out. So.
And have you ever thought of doing a pop song?
It's funny you ask, I'm actually working on a pop album right now.
Oh!
So, yeah. I haven't really spoken on it because I've literally got like 2 songs done, and it's probably pretty far out before I end up having a product that I'm happy with releasing. But I am working on it right now, and I do have a name for it. It's going to be called Soul Searching. So
y'all stay tuned for that. We got a little we got to see it there, y'all. Let's say, for example, if your music was a movie, what genre would it be? Like, what movie do you think would represent like your type of music? Throw us out a movie.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Wait, have I watched Forrest? Y'all don't laugh at me, y'all.
You haven't seen Forrest Gump?
No.
What?
I've heard of Forrest, like, y'all, like, I've dead ass heard of Forrest. Like, people always be like, make a joke about Forrest Gump. I just be like, but I don't know what, like.
It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Next question. What artist inspired you the most?
Oh, man. Ooh. Dude, there's so many. Man. I'd say Pink Floyd, honestly. Like,
Pink Floyd?
oh yeah. So, growing up, I listened to a lot of like psychedelic rock music. So I'd listen to like Aerosmith, Pink Floyd. I love grunge music too, Alice in Chains, Nirvana. But I think Pink Floyd was so cool to me because, especially for their time when they were really popular, like, what made them cool was that they were so weird and different. Because their instrumentals were different, and, like, you listen to it, and it's just, like, all trippy and all this stuff, and their vocals, like, their delivery was different, and, you know, I think being experimental and, like, trying different things is really part of what drives me to make music. And that was really infatuating me, especially at like a young age. I was like, this is different. You know, these guys are doing it cool.
What version of yourself are you trying to kill off through music?
I don't know if I would say I'm trying to like kill off a version of myself necessarily. Like, because I mean, I'm just trying to authentically be myself, man. You know? And so, I mean, I think part of what makes my music special is like, I'm just me, bro. I got nothing to hide, so.
If you could talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Man, just keep going, man. You know, you're going to find yourself in all kinds of situations where you don't know what to do, you know. Figuring out is part of growing up, you know, so just keep making music. Don't do drugs, you know, and, you know, just be the best you can be, and that's all you can do.
What scares you more, failing or being successful?
I feel like being successful is kind of frightening to an extent. Because, I mean, you see it time and time again, especially in the music industry. Like, you give these young people a lot of money and they end up fumbling it and doing stupid shit, you know? I'm not really necessarily afraid of failing because I don't really feel like you fail unless you give up.
What headspace do you have to be in to make your hardest track?
I think a lot of my favorite songs I've ever made, I was just in like a really low place, you know? And it kind of, I think as an artist, it kind of puts you in a precarious position because, you know, you might feel like you have to kind of almost subconsciously like self-sabotage yourself to kind of put yourself in that headspace so you can make good art, you know? But there's artists who can separate themselves from that, you know. I mean, there's artists who make heartbreak songs who've never had a breakup before, you know. And I mean, but for me, I feel like my art really comes out the best way when it is authentic. And I mean, for me, a lot of my music that I've made that I really love has just been from me being in a low place, you know, just kind of bad shit happens, you know. So, like I said, it's therapeutic for me. So I think what separates people who are really talented lyricists and musicians from just regular people is like it's easy for us to kind of articulate what we want to say in words, you know? And I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about quitting music, and what almost made you quit music?
Not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily a thought like, oh, I'm going to stop, you know? But I did take a good break for a while last year. Like, I released some stuff at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of just chilled out for a while, till probably like October or so ish, I think. So I mean, and like I said, it wasn't necessarily like I'm gonna chill. It's just like I said, I'm still a regular dude. Like I work a job, you know, I got family and stuff. So like for me, it got kind of like crazy busy, you know, and I think I needed to take that time and step away and just kind of let myself experience life a little more, you know, and then I was ready to jump back into it, so I did.
What changed in you mentally after people started paying attention to your music?
I think it's been really weird for me, cause like, I mean, like I live with people and work with people every day who, you know, are familiar with my discography and everything, and you know they listen to my music, and I don't know. I think for me, I've always been like, I don't want to say necessarily hard on myself, but I feel like I hold myself to a really high standard, you know? And so, like, for me, it can be kind of conflicting because, like, people are like, oh, you should make stuff like this, and, you know, you should do this and that and the third. But it's like, I'm just doing my own thing, man. Like I said, you know, I'm just making music that I like and that I want to listen to. Because, I mean, that's part of what really got me into making music anyway, not just seeing other people do it and realizing I could do it, but also realizing nobody's really making the music I want to listen to. You know, nobody's speaking about necessarily the stuff that I want to speak about all the time. So, like, I mean, speak on it myself.
All right. First, we got Drake or Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, God. I gotta say Kendrick. I do love Drake, though. They both make great music, but I just feel like Kendrick's a lot more authentic. You know, Drake has a lot of ghostwriters and all this shit, which is fine. I mean, he still makes good music, but you know, Kendrick's a real artist. So, yeah, definitely Kendrick.
All right. And have you ever heard of 5 Year Foreign? Okay. So it was gonna be a question of 5 Year Foreign or 21 Savage. Have you heard of 21 Savage?
Oh yeah.
I think that answers the question.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. I know these are our girls, but when it comes to the girls, who would you think you would rather like take your time out of the day? Who do you think is better, Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
I like Nicki a lot, but Megan's queen of female rap. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, Megan got it. Heck yeah. Megan knows what's up.
And that's a wrap on Kazi's Word. And we are done. And that is a wrap. 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 Make sure you go stream the album coming out on
February 1st.
Make sure y'all go tap. Make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. What is the Instagram?
Lil Drewy Shawty, SHAWTY,
And what is the TikTok?
Alien Kush 18, ALIENKUSH 18.
And make sure y'all stay tuned in. And y'all already know. But for all the new ones, my name is Kazi, aka David. But David to the bitches that I fuck with, and Kazi to the bitches around the circle. So most of y'all hoes that I don't fuck with. And no. But I love y'all. Some of y'all that call me Kazi. I love some of y'all. But it's like sort of y'all understand. I ain't gotta explain too much. But anyways, without further ado, it's a wrap.